Hello, this is Dr. Z with your hybrid tutorial for this chapter on international institutions and war. Really, it's about security alliances, both at the global and regional level, in addition to UN peacekeeping, which is the primary active way that the UN can serve to support peace and security. So a reminder, you can go under My Grades to check the rubric for the discussion. And then let me go right down here to this week's data report. As with previous weeks, I have a note of things to think about. There are a lot of questions with this particular data report. Some of them apply to your country, some of them will not. Some of your countries are active in security alliances, whereas others are I will say targets of security alliances. Some of you have UN peacekeeping operations. Some of you contribute UN peacekeepers. Some of you are both involved in war and also contributors of peacekeepers elsewhere. And finally, others do not contribute any peacekeeping forces, but are major contributors to the UN peacekeeping budget. So there are a lot of different things to keep in mind when preparing this week's data report, and you'll find a lot of variance in terms of what countries are reporting in terms of raw data, and then your country's relationship with different institutions and war. So let's get started with alliances treaty obligations right here. So this database has been updated only up to 2005, so it is a little bit outdated, but frankly, security alliances tend to be fairly durable, and that just means longer lasting. Some of them are short term, but most of the current ones are captured in this database, with a few minor exceptions. So this is a database that most researchers would use. Note the lack of fancy interactive map. There's not a clean place to enter your country, because this is where, again, researchers go to find data to then create their own reports, their own interactive maps, etc. And this is out of Rice University. So your best bet here is to go right to Search Alliances. And then in this dashboard, you can select your country over here on the left, and I'll select Cameroon today, and then Add, and over here will pop up your country. And this will find security alliances for which your country is a member of with any other country. So we are going to leave this here, and then click on Include All Dates to make sure that you're capturing all the possible alliances in this database. And then we're going to leave Include Only blank, because we are actually interested in all of these different types of alliances that your country may be a part of. And then we'll click Search. Cameroon actually only has 2 alliances down here, so you can see, let me hone in here. You can see the date that it was entered and then the date of exit. So this one started in 1961 and it ended in 1964. And then over here you can click on the ID to see additional information that's requested for the data report. And really, I only want you to click on the current ones. If your country only has historical ones, select one of those and you can get additional information there. So let's click on the one started in 2000, and I'll give you an idea of what to look for. So up here you can see some information, other members of the alliance. So right now, Cameroon is in an alliance with these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 other countries. So it's a 12-country alliance. It was signed during war. So Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Rwanda were in the alliance while they were at war. And this happened after 2000. So that's an important date too. It's important here because Rwanda had a major war and genocide in 1994, so that was not captured under this alliance. They entered an alliance after their 1994 genocide. And then you can read more down here. Are there provisions for adding additional members? No. This means it's a closed alliance for only those 12 countries. Some other interesting information, and this part's going to vary a little bit. You can scroll down here. Obligations of the alliance partners. This point right here is pretty important. So it says any aggression against one of the member states is considered a threat or aggression against all. That's typical. In fact, that's required for a successful security alliance. And then you can see here the member states give each other aid and assistance in defense. So they're asked to give assistance as well as aid during, potentially after as well. And then they abide by principles of non-use of force to solve disputes between those 12 members, definitely. It might not mean outside the membership, though. And then you can look down here, and I'm just kind of scrolling to see if there are yeses or nos. Number 24 says whether all the countries have the same obligations. So if it's a yes, that's a pretty likely to be a durable security alliance because it is even or symmetrical. So if you have a no here, you might find that it's asymmetric, and that could cause problems later with the security alliance, with countries getting upset if they carry greater obligations. And then here, 29, does it refer to potential for conflict? And you can read through this and pick your own information. Cameroon only has this one current security alliance. So if that's the case for your country, I recommend spending more time on the one security alliance that your country is a member of. If your country is a member of multiple security alliances, pick a couple of different data points for each one and look a little bit less in depth to make sure you get a full understanding of the variety of security alliances that your country is a member of. Okay, so we'll go on over here to the next bullet point, UN peacekeeping operations. So this one is to look to see if your country has a past or current operation. I'm just going to click on past first. And then you have to read the titles under the region to see if your country has a current one. So let's pick El Salvador first. So I'll just pick this one. They all have their own acronyms, and it's not official. Oh, not? Oh, okay. So it's a completed peacekeeping operation. So here you can click on facts and figures. And here you'll find information about who was involved, and then the key points down here. Strength, who contributed. This could be potentially really important if contributors to the peacekeeping operation were countries that actually went to war with the country that has the peacekeeping operation. Yes, that does happen. How many fatalities? That's a pretty low number. And then financing. So this one cost $107.7 million. And then you can click on some of these that are in different format to find out more. Let me go back. And these are actually all going to be in a little bit of a different format. So let me click on the Angola one. So Angola does not give you another website to click on facts and figures. It just gives the synopsis of information that you're asked to gather immediately on the next page. So this one lasted for a little over 2 years, 70 observers, no fatalities, and then 16.4 million net expenditures. All right, so let's go back to current. And I ask you to gather the same information on current. You can see the list down here, or again, use your increasing skills in geopolitics and geography to find your flag. So let's just pick Liberia here. And then here you'll have to click on facts and figures to get this information. So you can see September 2015 is when it started. That's currently authorized actually just through the end of last year. It had 15,000 military, over 1,000 police, and then there's a little bit of an explanation about adjustments over time. You can see who contributed. Don't spend too much time on this if you have multiple peacekeeping operations. What we're really interested in is down here. So this one has cost 187 million, and that's the approved budget just for this year. And then click on fatalities, and you can see fatalities by year, nationality, and mission. So this one could get a little complicated. I am fine if you have difficulty finding fatalities. If your country has multiple operations. If it only has one operation, go ahead and do some digging to get the total fatalities. And when I say digging, I just mean additional clicking. So we'll come back here. And then we're actually working with the same website, so you can stay in this website or go back to Blackboard. So here is the direct link for troop and police contributions. You can see there's a nice color code up here where you can search your country. So Mali is contributing a total of 59, but most importantly, scroll down and you can see this. Total contributions by country, and these come up in PDFs by month. And I would like you to look at the ranking. And the most recent one's January 2017. And here you go. And here you would use Control Find. And then I'm just going to search for Mali. Again, Mali is number 78 in contributions to UN peacekeeping in terms of troops and police force. So do some, thought or engage in some thought about what that means in terms of whether your country has been involved in war. Have you contributed a lot of troops and police? What does that mean? This list should be surprising to some of you. And the reason why I have this before the budget is to highlight the differences in country contributions between troop and police, so human capital, versus budget. So here we'll go under financing peacekeeping for budget. So again, scroll down. Article 7 of the UN Charter requires the obligation of states to pay. And then it is a UN General Assembly resolution that reaffirms these principles. So it's an international law to pay. And then the approved budget can be clicked on here. But I'm really asking you to look at whether your country is a top provider. So here's this list of top 10. And then when you click on the full list of assessed contributions by country, 2006 to 2018, here you'll get a PDF with the full contributions. So I will scroll back up really quickly. This is a UN General Assembly resolution, meaning that a majority of states in the world system, a majority of 193 UN member states, voted to pass this budget. So the General Assembly has the power of the purse in terms of the security budget of the UN. Please note these are in percentage points. So you have member state here by different levels, the effective rate in 2015, the regular budget for 2016 to 2018, and then the effective rate broken down. And the effective rate, it's actually described up here. It takes into account differences in currency, etc. So you can look at the effective rate for 2016, 17, 18, and it's likely to be a little bit higher in most cases, lower for some developing country, but if you have a developed country, it will be higher. So to find your country, you would scroll down and find the region, and then here is Mali. So they contribute 0.0004% for 2015, and their effective contribution is 0.0003%. Yes, that is low. And that is it. So let's go back here. A quick reminder, reply to one other post and read and rate 5 others. Thank you.